11:30 press conference today.
Oh, baby.
To mark the official end of the Dallas Cowboys season. It'll take place Ford Center at the Star in Frisco, 11:30 right here on DFW Sports Station. This is Shan and RJ along with our insider Bobby Belt.
I know we got a press conference last year because they hired Shotti, obviously. But I was trying to think back. I don't remember them typically doing these at the end of the season.
Do you remember? You usually remember this type of stuff.
They will have...
I feel like season ends and we don't hear from them until Senior Bowl usually.
I feel it's like 2 weeks after. I never feel anything's done this quickly. They're on a schedule, as Jerry would say this year.
I'm hoping. Now, yesterday Bobby said he thinks it's Schottenheimer, but I'm just hoping there's an increased sense of urgency after missing the playoffs in back-to-back years. I'm hoping.
But you would be happy with either version of it, right? Like whether it's just Jerry being more urgent or Jerry ceding to Schottenheimer wanting to be more. Either one would be good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You?
Yeah, no, and I think it is more. So Jerry definitely, this was not just Schottenheimer wanted to fire Eberflus, and he went in there. Jerry was like, listen to me, we need to do this. Jerry was going to fire Schottenheimer, or was going to fire Eberflus as well. Like, he wanted to do it. But the timeline, the urgency of doing it, Schottenheimer, from my understanding, is he looked at the landscape and he was like, there are too many open jobs for us not to be in on the market because we're going to lose people. So we got to start now.
So I've been waiting for this topic for 3 weeks. Yesterday, it got blown out. I had to call an audible after Matt Eberflus was fired during our morning hours. I need to know your grade for Brian Schottenheimer this season on the Frankel & Frankel injury attorney text line at 877-881-1053. 877-881-1053.
Before we go into that, I just have to gag at Pelissero has now shared his report of Mike McCarthy's interview.
Oh, that's his boy. That's the connection there.
So he made sure to frame it as the Giants are scheduled to interview Super Bowl winning head coach Mike McCarthy for their head coaching job on Tuesday. You will always see in Pelissero's reports, if he reports on McCarthy, it is always Super Bowl winner. It's like, that's his title, guys. Got to call him that. So every single day, it makes me,
All right. Give us the good. Give us the bad. And was Brian Schottenheimer worth the Mike McCarthy change? Was he better? Where was he better? Where was he worse? 877-881-1053. Yesterday in Crosstalk, when I was asking everyone who their media bias was, and who has it been really hard to separate your true opinions from the relationship, I answered Shotti.
Okay.
And that's why I've been wrestling with this. This is an uncomfortable topic for me because even though he comes on here and insults me every single week, I always tell Bobby, we got to do good radio first, okay? Our tempers and stepping over each other, all that stuff's got to come backseat to doing great radio. That's most important. Ask my family. I put it over them. And Brian Schottenheimer has delivered and did deliver the best coach interviews in our 15 years, and it's not even close. So that's where when I'm weighing in with the bad stuff, it was hurting me. It was hurting me internally. Start us off, Ralph James Choppy, on how you grade Shotty's rookie year.
I think he met expectations.
Okay, what were the expectations?
There was a lot of unknown. We don't know. Obviously, we don't know anything about him.
Well, we thought we knew that he was passed over forever, conservative, and a dinosaur offensively. Those were the initial reactions. I still remember sitting at Hurtado Barbecue in Dallas when the news broke, driving home Friday night in the rideshare and being half buzzed while flipping out over the hire.
Well, the news broke for you about a week earlier than that.
That's right. That's right. I did break that. Thank you for reminding me, Bobby.
I kind of liken it to my own grade as a child in high school.
Well, that's terrible.
Hey, listen, I was 116th out of 121. I still had an 82 average.
Okay.
Just a smart school.
Very smart. 40 of them went Ivy League, and then there was me. Go Vols. So I'll say he got an 81.
81.
78 to an 81.
Okay. What
All
did you like, not like, and next year, areas of improvement?
I loved the interviews, obviously.
Okay.
That doesn't count.
No.
Doesn't count.
Doesn't count.
Look, honestly, there's nothing on the field I particularly loved. The offense was good. The offense has always been good, right? When Dak was healthy, when they were 12-5 every year, they were scoring 27 to 31 points a game. That's where they were this year, right in the middle of they were at 27 and change this year. So the offense is what it is. The defense was terrible, and we knew that. This is nothing like that is earth-shattering news. I don't think he did anything to give them a unique advantage. I don't think he necessarily did anything to take away as a detraction.
Okay.
They just kind of were what they were. So I think he met expectations.
81. Now you, though, did have them definitely in the room as the highest amount of wins. I know you probably said double digits.
Either 9 or 10. I thought they were gonna. Yeah, I thought they were gonna because the offense was so good.
Okay.
I didn't expect the defense to be this bad.
Right. Okay. So 10-win team to a 7-win team.
Yeah.
Still getting an 81.
Yeah, I mean, look, I grade on the curve.
Okay.
I'm a grade on the curve.
All right, 81 from Ralph James. Roberto.
I go letters. I understand letters a little easier. B-. So he was the things that he did well. So the offense was exceedingly more modern than anybody had talked about. They used a ton of motion. They pushed the ball down the field. He threw it a ton. That the offense was. I don't know that there's anybody who can say he didn't exceed expectations on what the offensive design was. Everybody thought it was going to be Marty ball, and it was not. It was far from it. It was one of the more aggressive offenses in the NFL. So I liked that. Opened it up. Had a lot of success. The offense was, throughout the season, really, really good. I think he was the perfect head coach to have in place when Marshawn Nealon died. I don't know that there was anybody that you would rather have in there to kind of see everybody through that than Shotti. I do think that they've made culture strides. I mean, I don't know. Peyton, did you have that clip edited of Dak?
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, you've got that one. This is kind of goes to it. This is Tyler Booker talking about his rookie year on Hard Knocks, and Dak talking about he labeled this season something that'll probably upset some fans, maybe, but he labeled this season a success.
Hey, Book, how was your rookie season, bro? It was a lot of fun, bro. You know what I mean? It was like a lot more fun than I expected. I get to play football every day. I don't got to go to class. I get to take care of my body. It's a lot more fun than what I thought it was going to be.
What was the biggest surprise, if there was one?
That shit handed me after the rookie did. No, I'm playing, but the big surprise, I mean, how close we are.
That's love. Like, that's not given. That's not every locker room that they're this close. So, like, don't lose for a second. Like, this was a success. This was a good year.
Now that'll make sense. But I'm saying that. So when you're talking about does Shotty's like message land with them, are they getting 53 guys moving in the same direction, which is a big reason why Trayvon Diggs is not here anymore? Are you getting 53 guys moving in the same direction? He's succeeding in that because clearly they're all buying into, no, we made progress this year and strides of like, this is a success even to say that, you know, what we did this year because we grew closer. So they're all buying into the value of that. So the messaging is landing. They respond to it, everything else. The negative he did, the Eberflus hire was bad, and he could have spiked it back. He did not. He got
what about fixing throughout the year and adjusting?
Like adjusting like game plan and attack style?
No, like just doing something with the defense to fix it and improve it and make it better.
So they did make the trade. He went into the meeting rooms more. Like, I don't know how much you can do short of just firing people. And they started, I think it was 22 different people started a game on defense this year for them. So they had a lot of resources they threw at it. It was an error doing what he did, and he probably was, with his time management, just fell a little short in terms of oversight of the defense at times. Because you cannot have, it can't just be, it's bad it's on Eberflus, But if Schotty's telling us the goal is minimum 20 snaps between special teams and everything else that everybody who's active has to have every week, like that's their goal. Well, then you can't tell me that it's all on Eberflus to say that Logan Wilson got 0. Why isn't your coach noticing Logan didn't get in the game? Instead of everybody at the end of it going, it slipped our minds.
Yeah.
None of us knew that somebody who was supposed to play 20 snaps had played 0. And a veteran who's standing on the sideline with his helmet on the whole time just like, am I getting in? And so that's bad. Some of those oversight things, I don't think that's unusual, though, for anything other than just a first-year head coach anyway who's working through learning how to do that stuff. So that's kind of expected. The biggest thing he gets dinged for me, is play calling past the 50 at times. And this was a Kellen issue early on, too. When the field tightens up, his design doesn't always adjust, it doesn't feel like. Or there were too many times where he'd say, I didn't like the play call that I got us into. Hopefully that comes with a little more. This is his first time calling plays in years. Maybe he needed some of the reps again. But I think I didn't love play calling past the 50. That would get too conservative at times. And the thing McCarthy did better.
No.
Yeah. The thing McCarthy did better.
Where's my lighter?
He manages their health better, I think. Like he manages their workload and everything else to the way we got into Oxnard.
They had 9 guys hurt.
People forgot about it. Yeah, it was
nine.
9 people got hurt in the first 3 days of training camp. And it was like, all right, are you going too hard too early? And then you get into the season, and it felt like there were always guys getting banged up. All of that's probably not on Shotti, but there's at least going to be a little bit of that's due to, are you working them the right way? And again, I do think that's a bigger problem if this is year 2 and those things are true. Because year 1, you're learning how to run practices and do things. But overall, I'd say it's a positive. I don't think if Mike McCarthy's here calling the offense, I don't think they win 7 games with that defense. I think they are a 3-win football team.
How do you view changing from McCarthy to Shotti, RJ Choppy?
I don't know that you could say they're a 3-win team with Mike. He's never really shown to be a 3-win coach.
We've literally never seen a defense like this one. They were the worst in NFL history at points per drive.
And I understand that, but Mike's offenses have been just as good or better with Dak Prescott.
The ones he called?
No, just in general, like whether he's the play caller or not.
I think that matters.
Deion said, I still can't get that out of my mind when Deion said play callers don't matter. I can't get that out of my head when Deion said that. So I don't know, but I mean,
if you could go back and do it again, you can re-sign Mike for 3 years.
I would have done. I think the Cowboys wanted to do Mike for 3 years. Mike wanted 5.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, I don't think Shotti did a bad job. I thought Mike was a better coach. I think I would have done that. But in terms of like some of the second half fall offs with the offense is what bothered me the most.
Yeah.
Second, on the other side of the 50, I get it. You fall into the clutch with a crutch with Aubrey. I understand that. I don't like it. Also, it's his first year as a head coach. His first year making decisions on 4th downs. I just thought like sometimes the second half of these games, that offense went completely stagnant, and that can't happen. This is a good quarterback. You got 2 number 1 wide receivers. You got a really good number 3 receiver. You got a good running back. Your offensive line is not a problem. I mean, it had moments, but it's not a problem. The tight end could play. I mean, you can't be getting shut out in the second half.
I think that was. I'm gonna have to look it up. I think that was that's more recency in your head. I think because over the course of the season, I don't think their issues a lot of times earlier were bad starts. Like they didn't score a touchdown on the opening drive for like 3 months. They had that stretch against like Philly and Kansas City where they were having to come back and score in the second half. And so, I mean, I know in the last month of the season it was bad where they'd start out good and then they'd get blanked by Detroit or whoever else. But I think the majority of the season they were better in the second half.
So your grade again is?
I get about an 81.
All right, and Bobby, you're B minus.
B minus.
Okay. What are the Tolos saying so far?
214 Shotti gets a B minus, upgrade over McCarthy. 817 Shotti gets a C. B minus from the 972. 817 gives an F plus. I didn't know you can get an F plus. 254 says Shotti gets a B. C plus from 682, and I'll give a B minus. I mean, his defense was our offense was at the top. Defense was historically bad. The culture improved, but you got to make the playoffs next year for sure. You had a healthy season of Dak. You have to be better than 7-9-1.
All right.
And real quick, if they had kept Mike, would they have still brought in Eberflus? Do you think Zimmer would have returned?
No, Zimmer's not coming back.
If they had kept McCarthy?
Huh?
If they had kept McCarthy?
Yeah, Zimmer wasn't coming back. Zimmer was here for a year, was anticipating the job would open up, and then wanted to crack at it, and he didn't get it.
All right, so I broke mine into 3 different areas: offense, defense, culture. Offense, I give him a 90. I'm going number grades as well. Scored a ton of points. Dak, very nice year. Some of the concerns, red zone, some of the disappearance, whether it's conservative or getting figured out, a 90. Defensively was really tough for me to figure out because I don't know how much true impact he could have had. But ultimately, at the end of the day, everything is under your watch. I gave him a 60. All right, so I'm giving him a D for the Eberflus hire and more being insulted every week for coming on here and be like, huh, guys, I know part of this is PR you have to do. We're talking about a damn good coach here. All right, you guys are kind of silly for questioning him. So I'm not going to forget that Shotti and Jerry did that throughout the majority of the season, only to be proven massively wrong and incorrect. So there's a 60 for Shotti defensively. And then for the culture stuff, what I think is happening inside the locker room, I don't know. I give him an 85. So when I go to my calculator, my easy tip, and I go 90 plus 60 plus 85 divided by 3, I come up with a 78.
I think 78. You're right in the same kind of area.
No, we're all in the same area.
Yeah, that's
C plus B minus.
Splitting hairs.
Yeah,
splitting hairs, and that's okay. Like first year for a coach. Like Liam Cohen gets an A++, right? A++ for what he's done this year. Other first year coach, like what does Kellen Moore get? The first half of the year he was probably a D, but now the second half of the year, he's in the A range.
Yeah, my concern with Schottenheimer and really for everyone there, including Will McClay, my concern over there is I don't know if, like certain people in life, I know that you're going to figure it out. I know that you're smart enough. I know you have a track record, and you're going to eventually figure it out. I have that question about all of them right now. Like, okay, we get 2 nice picks in the first round. Will McClay going to find that right D end? Will McClay going to pick the right linebacker or secondary player? I don't have full confidence right now. Jerry Jones, I asked him this in the final interview. Why do you think, like, at what point does the self-doubt creep in to overwhelm you? Like, why would I think after 30 years of not coming close to your goal that you would have the answer in year 31? You wouldn't. You wouldn't have the answer. And then for Brian Schottenheimer, because Shotti, and again, I know a lot of this was PR, because he was so defensive and supportive of Matt Eberflus and brought him in the first place. And I'm not going to just say, oh, Jerry forced that on him. I'm going to go with what Bobby said and others. Jerry maybe picked it, but Schottenheimer supported it and did not come close to fixing it throughout the entire season. How do I know that you have the answers or the right input for the next replacement or the concepts on that side of the ball? I don't know that you do. So those are my worries heading into Schottenheimer's second off season.
And a lot of that, though, I would assume you would say you have to scale for it's the first time. Like, it's a lot more.
Yep.
These are graded on a curve a little bit to where it's like, if it looks like this in year 2, some of these things, it's a even worse
But
year.
Here's where I counter back. I agree with you for the most part. Here's where I counter back. Brian Schottenheimer has seen and been around every damn situation for 20 years in the National Football League.
Mm-hmm. And so 20 years at home.
All that experience and all that osmosis, like, I expect you to be a lot further along, and maybe he was. I don't know everything inside the building. I expect you to be a lot further along than Liam Cohen. I expect you to be a lot further along than a brand new rookie head coach because you've lived this basically your entire life. So, yes, overall, I do agree with you. Second year, you're actually in the seat, but there should not be any disagreement, any football fight, any player issue, except for a death, that Brian Schottenheimer would be unfamiliar with because of how long he's been around.
Sure. The only caveat I give to that is, like, for instance, when I say that McCarthy did a better job probably managing their bodies, Brian Schottenheimer can see the way everybody's done it. And he can know, I know that doesn't work, I know that doesn't work, I know that doesn't work. And in his head, he can think, I believe this will work, but I've never been given a shot to implement it. And then when he walks in there and implements it, he learns right away, oh, nope, that doesn't work, can't do that again.
Yeah, and I also don't care if he beat them up in training camp. I said that at the time, and I don't even care if it proved out to be true that it hurt them, because I understand going in year one and setting the tone. I'm a believer in that. It's much easier to be a hard ass and back off and then come in and pretend to be a hard ass. So get Britt Brown some more help in the medical room.
So you may have said it, maybe I missed it, but did you say whether you thought, is he an upgrade over McCarthy?
I think on paper it is impossible to sit there and argue and not think on paper that Mike McCarthy would be less than 7 wins. Like, that's on paper. 12-5, 12-5, Mike, win-loss. Based upon what I've heard, and what I think I know about Schottenheimer, I would have made the switch, and I'm fine with the switch as well. I don't think they're a 10 or 11 win team with Mike McCarthy, because Mike McCarthy also chose Mike Nolan and also had Mike Zimmer with historically bad defenses. It was time for Mike to go. I'd be happy if Mike took over the New York Football Giants, and Mike was good to us every Friday. That's just how I feel. I'm making the switch. I'm making the changeover, but I'm not going to sit here and be fooled by Brian Schottenheimer's amazing personality every Friday. I think we've shot it straight for 15 years. I'm not going to allow biases to kick in as well as we can. And as I heard Jesse Holly say yesterday, and Jesse pointed right at his camera, he said, this is you now next year, Brian. This is now you, because you're going to get your guy at DC. And Eberflus was the scapegoat, and Eberflus was the problem. Well, now they're going to start coming for your ass when you got your own personal pick, if that is what happens. So that's what I'm trying to balance and keep in mind.
I think he's, like I said, I think it's a B- now. If it's a B- next year, I'll be disappointed.
Yeah.
Because my expectation is I think he's going to continue to make them better. I think he is building something that, to me, he is ultimately, when we talked about Jason Garrett earlier and the way Jason Garrett wants to structure things and the way Jason Garrett believes, when I said Garrett could have been more successful if he would have just had an idea of how to, like, aggressively push offenses, that's kind of Schottenheimer with bigger personality. Like, a lot of the stuff he says Monday through Saturday is like a prettier way to say what Garrett has always said.
All right, basically C+, B- for Brian Schottenheimer's rookie season.